So you're planning to move to Richmond, Virginia, but you haven't yet figured out which neighborhood would be perfect for you. Well, we've got you covered. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my personal top 5 favorite neighborhoods in Richmond. And though I know this is subjective, these are 5 you definitely got to check out. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Greg Somerville with Shaheen, Ruth, Martin, and Fonville, and I get to help lots of folks just like you who are looking to buy, sell, relocate, or invest in the Richmond market. If you tick any of those boxes, feel free to reach out. I'd love to help. Well, today we're going to be zooming in on 5 of my favorite neighborhoods in the Richmond area, but we're also going to take a little bit of time to talk about general market trends, what's going on in the market, and what you need to know. So make sure you stay tuned to the end to get that information. Number 5 on my list is the neighborhood of Moseley. And it's only number 5 because it's pretty far outside the city. It's about a 30-minute drive west of city center, right here on the western edge of Chesterfield County. But for those who call this home, it's perfect. Moseley is probably best known for its master plan communities. Harper's Mill, Magnolia Green, Fox Creek, Hampton Park, Roundtray. These have been growing a lot over the past couple of decades, and many folks have found this to be the perfect location. When my wife and I were first moving to Richmond and looking around for where we should call home, we actually put a contract on a home here in Magnolia Green. Backed out because we decided it was a little far from the city for us, but that's how much we liked the location when we were first looking. It's an ideal setting for those who want a little more peace and quiet, but still close enough access to the hustle and bustle of Richmond city life. Multiple builders have partnered together to develop these master plan communities. As a result, the homes come in all kinds of shapes, sizes, and price ranges. You can get a nice condo in the 200s, or you can get one of these luxury estates for over $1 million. Among many other highlights, I've got to draw attention to Magnolia Green, the fastest growing master plan community here in the Moseley area. It's got an 18-hole championship golf course, state-of-the-art aquatic center, pickleball courts, tennis courts, and miles of recreational trails. No wonder that many people are making Magnolia Green their go-to destination here in the Richmond area. Well, as with any neighborhood, there are pros and cons to living in Moseley. One of the pros is that because of the Wood Lake and Brander Mill area, there is a good bit of retail just within a 5-minute drive of Moseley. Big box stores, chain restaurants, all the basics that you're going to need without having to drive 30 minutes into the city. You're also close to the Richmond Metro Zoo, which is fantastic, especially for the kids or grandkids. And some brand new schools are being built to keep up with the development, including what's considered to be the largest middle school in Central Virginia. Some of the cons, of course, congestion on Hull Street as you're driving in and out during rush hour. Expect to spend an extra 5 to even 10 minutes just because of the traffic. And then finally, if you're a foodie, you're going to find the most authentic, unique restaurants closer to the city. Out here in Moseley, it's going to be kind of the chain restaurants that you'd find anywhere. Other than that, Moseley is a fantastic neighborhood, definitely deserves to be on your top 5 as you consider where you're going to live in Richmond. Number 4 on the list is Church Hill. Church Hill is one of Richmond's oldest neighborhoods, offering beautiful views of the city skyline. It got its name when the founder of the city, William Byrd II, stood on this spot looking down at the James River and realized how similar it was to his own home back in England on Richmond Hill, which overlooked the Thames River. A mix of history buffs and young entrepreneurs are drawn to Church Hill's evolving scene. Over the past decade or two, hundreds of homes here have been purchased, renovated, and resold. That's created a great opportunity for the young professionals moving into this area because of its vibe, but unfortunately it's displaced a lot of the original residents who can no longer afford the high taxes. Depending on what part of town you're in, home prices could vary widely. In the past year, you could have bought a single-family fixer-upper for under $100,000, or you could have also bought an 1818 mansion for $1.5 million. Church Hill has an amazing history. I'm standing here on the very spot where Patrick Henry gave his famous speech, "Give me liberty or give me death," at St. John's Church. The area is known for its award-winning restaurants and bakery, for its beautiful parks, and for some of its annual festivals like the Irish Festival and the Spring Fest. Number 3 on my list is Forest Hill. And I'm just going to admit it now, I'm very biased. This is where I live. but I think there's good reason to include it on our list of top 5. Forest Hill is a historic district located here on the south side of the James River. It's flanked by Forest Hill Park, one of the biggest and most popular parks in Richmond. For a town that loves its outdoors as much as Richmond does, no surprise that Forest Hill would be popular because of its easy access to the James River Park system. We have the Buttermilk Trail, Class 4 rapids for kayaking, and lots of trails for biking and cycling. Once people move into Forest Hill, they are not quick to leave. I've met folks who have been here 50 years, moving from one house to another like hermit crabs because they didn't want to leave the neighborhood. And then there are young couples who moved here in the past year or two, excited to make Forest Hill their forever home. For a neighborhood with this many amenities, home prices are actually very affordable. You can buy a condo here in the mid 100,000 range, whereas on the other end of the spectrum, one of Richmond's most beautiful old homes sold this past year for almost 900,000. Of course, we have to talk about pros and cons. And again, I'm biased. The fact that I live here means I see a lot more advantages than disadvantages to living in Forest Hill. First of all is the park itself, trails, the lake. So many features here that my kids and grandkids love when they come to visit. Access to the James River Park system, the trail system, the water, the fact that I can get on my bicycle in my front yard and bike across Belle Isle and reach Browns Island, where so many of the best festivals are held every year. Every Sunday morning, right here in the park, is the Farmers Market, the south of the James Market. In September of each year, the 43rd Street Festival of the Arts takes place just a block from my house. These are amazing benefits. And within a 1-mile radius are 15 eating and drinking establishments, bakery, coffee shops, restaurants, you name it. Hard to go wrong. The real disadvantage that I can think of is the fact that taxes here in the city are significantly higher than they are in the surrounding counties. But with all the amenities I get by living in Forest Hill, that's a price I'm willing to pay. Number 2 on my list is the neighborhood of Short Pump. Located about 15 miles west of downtown, Short Pump offers the suburban relaxation with access to many of the urban conveniences. Once upon a time, this was a convenient stopping point for stagecoaches making the trek from Richmond out to Charlottesville. Now it's home to the Richmond area's most popular shopping mall and some fantastic planned communities. Short Pump can't boast of a lot of historic homes or river walks, but it abounds in modern conveniences. Residents speak very highly of the public school options they have available to them. They're willing to pay top dollar for access to parks, libraries, retail, and dining options available here in this growing part of the city. With all the growth that's taken place over the last 40 years, Short Pump offers homes of all sizes, ages, and price points. You can get a townhouse for under $300,000 in Berkeley Point, or a $1 million mansion on the golf course in Wyndham. In general, you can expect prices to range somewhere between $350,000 and $600,000. When I think about living in Short Pump, there are a lot of highlights. The most obvious one, of course, being the Short Pump Town Center itself. Not only for residents here, but for people throughout the Richmond area who flock here on the weekends. A number of the local schools have been recognized nationally as Blue Ribbon winners over the years. There are parks, libraries, festivals, lots of benefits to living here. A disadvantage I can think of is the traffic. If you show up on a weekend during a busy shopping time, there's going to be a lot of congestion. Short Pump is right off 64, so it's easy access that way, but once you get onto the main strip, you're probably going to sit in your car for a while, and that's okay. Number 1 on my list of top neighborhoods is the Fan District, located right here in the heart of Richmond. The Fan is well loved because of its proximity to the city center. It's an 85-block district named for the way that the original trolley lines built in the 19th century fanned out from the middle of the city. It also happens to be the largest intact Victorian neighborhood in the entire country. It's popular among young professionals and small families because of its historic ambiance, its charm, its character. My niece actually owns a condo right here on Park Avenue. She loves walking her dog here along the sidewalks and going to some of her favorite local restaurants like Cuba Cuba. If you love being right in the heart of the city and having access to some of the city's best museums and parks, this is the place for you. Homes here range from charming apartments to luxurious townhomes with starting prices around $300,000. The priciest home in the Fan that sold in the past year went for $2.3 million. People love the Fan for its eclectic mix of restaurants, historic architecture, and wide boulevards. It's adjacent to Virginia Commonwealth University, or VCU. During the summer of 2020, it was at the epicenter of protests over the Confederate monuments here on Monument Avenue. It's a classy area, Old Richmond at its most elegant. As we wrap up, it's worth noting that Richmond's real estate market is strong right now. Despite the high interest rates that have kept some buyers and sellers out of the market, it is a great place to be investing in a home. Home prices, home values have gone up 30+% in the last few years here in Richmond. A lot of folks are moving here from Northern Virginia and New York and even California, attracted by the food scene, attracted by the love for the outdoors and the unique vibe that Richmond offers. If you're thinking about a good place for real estate investment, you're going to have a hard time doing better than Richmond. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell below to stay updated on all things related to Richmond real estate. And if there's anything I can do to help you find your perfect home here in Richmond, all my details are below. Reach out anytime. If you enjoyed this neighborhood guide, then click on the video right here where I talk about 5 of the communities around Short Pump that are attracting the most interest from homebuyers like you. Go ahead and click on that now, and I'll see you over there.